For this episode of Bully Beta, I'm going to be covering the nerds. First of all, I'd like to apologise for taking so long to get this video out. I was having a new kitchen fitted when people requested it, and I'm sure most of you don't want to hear banging and drilling in the background. Secondly, thanks to everyone who subscribed and helped me get to 5,000 subscribers. I honestly never expected to hit that many when I started this, like about 6 years ago or whatever. Anyway, let's get on to the beta nerds. Now, the nerds' beta design remained largely the same as their final design, just with one major change. Instead of wearing green Astronomy Club vests, they actually wore burgundy vests, which was the beta colour of Bulworth. Sadly, most of the nerds didn't actually have any major appearance changes, but the ones who did looked considerably different. A few of the nerds also had beta names as well. Let's start off with Algernon first, as he's the first nerd we encounter in Bully. In the beta, Algernon was known as Angus, and looked considerably different here than his final design. Here we can see Algernon had a much different hairstyle, his face is a bit more piggish, and he's wearing a black and yellow tie, similar to some of the beta preps. Algernon's vest also has the beta Bulworth crest on it too, and his jean shorts are replaced by school shorts, but he still has his fly down. Now to me, Algernon here looks slightly skinnier than his final design, like he's still fat, but not as fat, if you know what I mean. Ernest Jones looks completely unrecognisable here. His hairstyle is a hell of a lot more different, he has a different hair colour, he's much more uglier, he has a few more spots on his face, buck teeth, and his glasses appear to be orange rather than yellow. Ernest also appears to be carrying some kind of messenger bag, which would make him the only character in Bully to actually have a bag. To me here, Ernest's design looks like that of a stereotypical nerd. I know in Bully, like, the nerds, preps, greasers and jocks are all pretty much stereotypes, but this is probably the most stereotypical thing I've actually seen over all the character designs in Bully. This appearance of Ernest can still be seen in game, sort of, at least on the PC and Xbox 360 versions anyway. If you go into the Jocks Clubhouse, after you've unlocked it of course, and start looking on the left side of the wall, you'll see this poster of Ernest from his class president campaign in Chapter 1, although it's been defaced by the Jocks so you can't see his face, but you can still see his hair and his tie. In Chapter 1, none of Ernest's campaign posters look like this, so Rockstar just left this texture over. Beatrice also had a beta name as well, and her beta name was Amy. Her appearance here is slightly different to her final design. Her face has a more rectangular shape, her nose is positioned differently, and she appears to be a bit more uglier here, a bit like Ernest and Algernon. Beatrice's dress also appears to be much shorter here too, and her tie is black and yellow rather than red in the final game. Beatrice also had a removed appearance, and no, it wasn't in her underwear like the other girls, but it's actually Beatrice in a stripper outfit. I'm not even joking. Obligatory. If that appearance was kept in game, Rockstar would be in serious trouble for breaking the law, and yeah, so forth. Fatty is one of those characters that no one actually knows the name of. He's just known as Fatty Johnson. However, he has a beta name, and his beta name is Francis. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, so here's his name on screen. I think this means Fatty was going to be a bit like Peanut from the Greasers, whose real name is Larry but everybody just calls him Peanut. Looking at his beta appearance, we can see his ass crack was going to be on show at all times. Fatty's face is considerably a lot more fat here, as we can see multiple chins on him, and he also wore a black and white tie, and he wore school slacks instead of jeans. Fatty also carried a newspaper, or much more likely, a comic in his back trouser pocket. Melvin also had a beta name, and his beta name was Mole. Now, like Ernest, Melvin is almost unrecognisable here. The only way we know this is beta Melvin is because of the pencil he has in his ear. He's much more fatter here than his final design, and he actually has blue hair. He also has round glasses, like the ones Algernon has. It's possible his name was Mole, well, because of the mole he has on his face. A bit like why Fatty is called Fatty, if you know what I mean. Lastly, it's never specified in-game, but Melvin is actually the second leader of the nerds. Sadly, these are the only changes the nerds had. The rest of the nerds, like Fad, Bucky and Cornelius, and Donald, their appearance stayed largely the same, aside from having a full Bulworth crest on their jumper and vest. Well, slight lie, but here we can see puberty wasn't exactly kind to Donald. While there isn't anything major in this picture, I wonder why some characters, like Fad, have a huge Bulworth crest on their shirt, and then characters like Ernest have a very small crest on their shirt. In fact, on a closer inspection, we can see Bucky has a completely different crest compared to everybody else. This crest isn't seen on any of the other beta cliques, only Bucky. And it's not the original Bulworth crest either, as that was black and yellow. This one appears to be red and white. So that's all the beta information I have for the nerds, and thank you for watching.